Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Kea Beasley. I'm the Education Director for Lubbock Symphony and a violinist for Lubbock Symphony as well. This lovely lady is Hannah Jackson. She is an incredible vocalist, recording artist, songwriter from Lubbock, Texas. Is that right?
Not originally, but I got here as fast as I could.
She got to Lubbock as fast as she could. Okay?
And I've been here 21 years.
She's been here 20 plus years. Yeah. And so we're just really honored to have her be part of this. And the title of today's session is Career Opportunities in Music. We are here today as part of the Buffalo Grass Festival. This is the second annual Buffalo Grass Fest. This is a music festival here in Lubbock. One of the purposes of that festival is to connect with incredibly talented musicians within our community for musical growth. But the other purpose is for education. And that means all of you guys, okay? Music education for our students in the community as well. So purpose of this session today is just to get you thinking about possibilities for yourselves in the world of music. We're gonna do just a little bit of music this morning since that's what we do for a living. And then we'll get into the packet that you have. You'll hear a little bit from us about our backgrounds and how we got into this particular business and how we found our way and whatnot. And then the majority of today's session is going to be to talk to the group and kind of do some brainstorming and figure out what it is you want to do after school, or if you're not in school, well, you know, like, what am I going to do with my life and music? And you're all very talented young people. We're going to figure out some ideas and options for you so you can walk away feeling like, hey, I think I've got a grip on this, and maybe have some new ideas about what to do, okay? Careers in music. The first page on here are just some career opportunities for you. It's basically broken down into 4 categories. So when you think about music careers, at least in my opinion, I think there are 4 major areas. So the first one we're going to look at is music performance. And so these, I should mention, this isn't a comprehensive list, not complete, but it has many of the major areas that you're going to see with any type of performing. And so myself, for example, if you're a violinist, maybe the symphony route is your thing. If you're a vocalist, you know, maybe opera could be your thing, musical theater. There are also opera orchestras as well, of course. Jazz band, there's an army band. If you're a vocalist, of course, different choirs throughout the country, things like that could be your thing, mariachi. So you might just have to find what speaks to you for what you want to accomplish with your performing. The next area is music education. And so what if you're not really, you know, a performer per se, but you still love music and you enjoy teaching, you love working with children? Maybe this is more of the route you might want to consider. And so that could be elementary music teaching, band and orchestra director. If you were into the more technical, scientific-y, mathematical portion of music, maybe music theory is your thing. Lessons instructor. All of those are some options within the education realm to consider. There's another interesting area that we both know pretty well at this point called music business. And so this is an interesting area. You know, this is more of think of music business as more of the behind the scenes type of musical career. And so maybe you love performing, but again, maybe you want to be more behind the scenes. So maybe studio recording is your thing. You could be a studio musician. Maybe you want to be a conductor or a composer, or if you're, again, interested in the technical side of things, how all of the parts work, you know, maybe audio engineering, you know, recording engineering could be your thing, songwriting, stage operations. There are all these different areas comprised within the music business arena, if you will, okay? And then there's a very fun area that I'm actually a part of now, known as arts administration. This is actually something that you can major in college if you wanted to. And so For myself, for example, I'm education director. That's a component of arts administration. Other areas might include marketing or accounting, fundraising. Again, what I do is education and outreach. There's graphic design. Everybody who is part of the team for Lubbock Symphony, we all have one of these roles to play. And then my role, for example, is multifaceted. My day job is here, and then at night I'm across the street playing gigs with Lubbock Symphony, and it is fantastic. So again, this isn't a comprehensive list. It's not every single thing, but it's just enough to get you started to think about what you might be interested to do. On the next page, we have some education opportunities. Several of these are incredibly prestigious music institutions. Of course, we've got Texas Tech listed on there, South Plains, Juilliard. It's a very broad range of schools from all over the country. They all offer a variety of programs, whether that be performance, education, or what we just discussed, arts administration. They have many different degree options and programs. And so I want to encourage you to do some research on your own and just peruse the website and see kind of what they have to offer, and see what might fit for what your goals and dreams are for the future, okay? On the next page, we have our scholarship and grant opportunities. Again, not a comprehensive list, but it's just a few to get you thinking about what's out there. This is just a short list to get you thinking about that. I want to encourage you to do some research on your own when it comes to this area. This is a broad range for scholarship options as well. Some of these are performance-based, some of them are essay-based, and or just simply filling out an application and getting approved in that manner. Also, I mentioned at the bottom, FAFSA. Don't ever forget about FAFSA, free application for student aid, okay? So we want to check that out. Award amounts are going to vary for that. So I do want to encourage you, with everything that I have, that there are literally millions of dollars in scholarships out there. It may take a little bit of research on your part to find them, but it is possible, and so I want to encourage you for that. With that said, I want you to know that there are resources out there to help you. Please become best friends with your counselors at school. Your guidance counselors are there to help you. Your university scholarship office, if you already know where you want to go to school, I would connect with them, with the scholarship office at that school, start asking questions. They can be a great resource to you and get you in the right direction with additional funding for school. Local organizations, if you are, your churches, if you are, in Boy Girl Scouts, if you're in any other clubs, organizations, get connected with the people that are in those groups, and they can also lead you in the right direction for potential funding for school as well. The last items on here are just a few websites that you might want to consider. New England Conservatory Bridge is incredibly helpful. It has this massive database of auditions, festivals, all of these different opportunities across the country, in some cases around the world. I believe there's a subscription fee, but it's well worth it, so you might want to check that out. Musical chairs is fun. I go there sometimes to daydream about auditions in far off places someday, so it's free to check it out. The question, what are your goals after school? This is the fun portion of our session today, is to figure out what in the world you're going to do. And if you're already out of school, I don't know, then, what am I going to do next, right? I want to encourage you that music is big enough for everybody, and you will find your pathway. I'm going to let Hannah speak to this in just a moment. One thing I wanted to mention is that there's no one way to get there, and you might find that you are doing multiple things within that world. So, for example, this is, like I said, my day job. In the evenings, I'm performing or teaching, and you're going to find that you might be in multiple areas. And so it's just whatever speaks to you and, feeds your soul is really what the goal is. But there are multiple ways to get there. And Hannah, I think you've got some great examples of this.
Yeah.
And all of it.
Yeah, okay. What you'll discover, at least in my 43 years, I have a long way to go, but I've learned that the more I'm like this with it and trying to control it and make it do what I want it to do, the less it does it. But when I do like this and just let it fly and just try not to micromanage it, really cool things start happening. And I release it and I let it actually breathe and let it fly, and that's when sometimes the money will come in and I didn't even mean for it to. So it really is a state of mind and a state of heart, I think, and that has helped me, and I've definitely learned that the hard way. So, okay, I think it's important for you to define what you want and to define where you're at. This discussion has been very helpful. I am going to give everybody a little piece of pink paper, and I want you to take a piece, and you don't have to write on it right now, but the reason why it's pink is so that it won't get lost and you'll remember what it's for. But I want you to try to communicate in 1 to 2 sentences what you want. And you can do this for your whole life. You can do this for your music career, whatever. But I think it's important to actually spend some time thinking and writing down what you want. Because otherwise you'll just keep spinning over here and I'll spin over here for a minute. So this will not stay the same. It will change as you change and as you grow, I hope. I hope you change and grow, so I hope this doesn't stay the same. But this will at least help you communicate to other people. If you're in an elevator with somebody and they're like, well, I'm an A&R representative, or I'm in a band and we're looking for a guitar player, or whatever it is. What do you want? If you know what you want in 1 to 2 sentences, you can tell if you're going to line up with that person, if it aligns with them, and you can tell if it doesn't. If it doesn't align with your goal, your current goal, kindly decline and move on down the road. Right? Okay, so, all right, do the work. Practice your craft. I talked with Carrie Banks about this, and there's a lot of us that can tell you that this really does help when you do the work. But when you're gigging, like if you want to gig around town, Carrie says have a 25-song set memorized all the way through. I don't know that I have it. Maybe. I might.
You might be close.
I'm lazy.
Really
He says do it in tune and in time. Look the part. 20 years of teaching voice, and I would get the question all the time. What do I wear to recital? And so what I would say is, who do you want to be? Who are you as an artist? What represents you? We're all trying to figure that out all the time as we change. We start all over again, all the time. But ask yourself, what do you want to look like? How do you want to present yourself? Do you sing country music? Well, then look at other country artists. You follow them on Instagram. You know what they wear. If that's what you want to look like, do it. If not, if you want to change it up, change it up. I think SoundCloud is an easy way for people to hear your music. It's free, and you can pop it on there, and you can throw somebody a link, and they'll click on it and be able to get in there pretty easily and listen without having to buy it or whatever. So there's other ones, Bandcamp. But I think having some music recorded well, the best that you can, it doesn't have to be $1,500 a song, but you guys are smart, you know how to use computers and stuff, so get you a little demo recorded and pop it on there so that you can send people to some music so they can hear what you sound like. If you can't afford studio recording, network. This is not about like a quick trip to fame and fortune. If you want that, get out of music. You're in the wrong place. This is about a family. This is about a community. It is about walking the path with each other. When one wins, we all win. And if you don't have that attitude, you get weeded out real quick because we need each other so desperately, and we care for each other, we take care of each other. So, network, find the people that can do it, beg them, buy them a burger, whatever. Not whatever, but yeah, just make friends. You'll be amazed at the doors that'll open for you and the people that want to see you succeed. Get out there, play churches, restaurants. If you're gonna do a restaurant gig, y'all, be ready. You're not gonna get paid a whole lot of money. Your fingers are gonna bleed by the end of it. You're gonna play 3 hours of music. You better come up with a couple more instruments so you don't get bored, because your fingers are gonna be frayed out and you have heartbeats. So, if you can play a little piano, do a little cover of something, do it. And then go over to a ukulele and then go over to a guitar, because you're playing for 3 hours. And if you don't play it by yourself, you gotta split it with somebody else. Be prepared for that. Put out a tip jar. And open mic nights, they do stuff like that. Blue Light's a good place to go play and network on Monday nights. Nursing homes. So next, I think it's good for you to find a mentor. All right, I'm gonna read this just so that I don't ramble and we can get right to it. Determine your strengths and your weaknesses. Do not dwell on your weaknesses or point them out to everybody. Okay? All right. A music career is a way of life, not a final destination. Notice people that are further along in their journey or in their chapters of the book and ask them to help you. Do not compare your chapter to someone else's chapter. That is not your job. Your job is to focus on you and get better and do your thing. Because there's only one of you, so we need you. Schedule sessions or coffee with those people that you look up to, so that you're not, rushed and being weird in a DM on Instagram. Be weird, ask for the coffee or whatever, but then have a relationship with that person. Don't just try to get something out of them, because people are not stupid. They know when you're just trying to something or something. So, all right, glean from their wisdom and experiences, listen to their stories, tell yours, connect, genuinely connect with people and grow. Network. The best way to find more gigs is to go to other people's shows. That has worked for me every time. Be present, meet the people, look for ways that you can use your strengths to help them. Offer to do something for them to help their career without expectation to receive something in return. I could say that 1,000 times and mean it every time. Diversify. As musicians and artists, we have a tendency to get bored, and that is okay. We are neurodivergent humans. That's why we're in music. And this language carries over every single time. All of the time, there is always music. So, it's okay if you get bored. Don't let somebody make you feel bad about that. Intelligent people are multifaceted, have many things to offer this world. The best way to work with that energy is to have multiple irons and multiple fires. Okay? And this is how you discover what you align with and the thing that fills you up the most, and can also help you have more than one stream of income. So be smart. Bands, co-writing, projects, teaching, work for hire, personal growth, all of that stuff. There it goes. Split up. Groups.
Thanks.
Talk about it.